welcome back. Last time we talked about DNA of the universe, and today let's talk about circle. Why is actually not possible in the real world. So what do I mean by that? First, let's get this out of the way. Circle and perfect circle. They're the same thing, obviously. A perfect circle is a circle. A non-perfect circle, by definition, cannot be a circle because a circle has to be uniformed at the same distance from the center. So if you're not perfect, then one spot is not uniformly same distance to the center, so it's no longer a circle. It doesn't fit the definition. So perfect circle and circle is the same thing. So when you think of a circle, you say, oh, well, you draw a circle. I mean, it's round and like that. But there is a problem with that because if you're trying to draw a perfect circle or a real circle, and then you will realize if you try to do the, because the Egyptians, etc., they all figured that out. If you do the circumference divided by the diameter, it's not a divisible constant. Meaning, you say, well, it's pi, that's a constant, right? Well, yes, it is. But if you try to get the pi by our realistic means, meaning let's say you have a ruler, that's to the nth power accuracy, and that's the best ruler you make, and you try to draw use that to make a circle. So let's say you cut a string based on that ruler and you make a circle, and you measure the diameter, you measure the the circumference, and you get a number, which is a let's say called pi a, which is not a pi yet because you can't get. Then if you divide, because your measurement is a accuracy to the nth power, so you can only divisible by to the certain decimal. Because after that, you'll become you cannot be irrational. Think about that. For example, let's say if you to the first power, so 10.1 to that digit, so you have 3 digits divided by other 3 digits, then you can not get an infinite irrational number because those are 2 rational numbers divided by each other. It cannot generate an irrational number based on that. And now you see it. So you have to get a bigger and bigger and bigger circle to get to a close to pi. Because the bigger you get, the closer to pi you get. Because the more and more closer to getting to the decimals. So you get a bigger, longer and longer decimal. So for you to improve on the decimal accuracy to pi, that's why you have the pi series. That's what you're doing there. You have to make a bigger and bigger circle. Then what's the problem? Well, the problem is, unless it's infinite, because pi does not become, rational at a certain point. It constantly changes. It's irrational. So you can never make a circle that's big enough for you to measure, for you to create, that can become pi. Then how can then only that circle that can fit to the pi is a perfect circle. That infinite circle is the actual perfect circle. Every other circle you see in this world is a non-perfect circle. Thus, it's not a circle. It's a circular. Obviously, that applies to balls, spheres, anything based on that. You say, well, hey, doesn't really matter, right? What is the big deal about that? Well, the big deal is actually a huge deal. What's the huge deal about it? Because that means pi is actually non-realistic, because pi is born from circumference divided by diameter based on existing circle. But pi doesn't exist in reality. And yet we use pi to approximate, to calculate everything that's important, almost everything. Then you use a imaginary infinite accuracy to measure a realistic accuracy. Obviously, at a certain point, you'll break. Yes, you will break. So that's why understanding circle does not exist, meaning the world based on science in that term of using pi, its approximation is not realistic of the actual effect. Of course, it works very well because we only need certain accuracy, but it's not exact. You will never get the exact world based on pi, because pi is based on an infinite division of circumference by diameter. Right? Then you say, wow. So, interesting, huh? That's my theory. So, next time let's talk about something even more strange. I will tell you a theory that will at least blow my mind. You'll be like, wow. That changes your view on the existence of you. Stay tuned.